Isekai has always been a staple for anime throughout the years, and that especially goes for the present. That is why for today we will be taking a break from all these new isekai shows and reflect back on some of the previous isekai that came before and left their mark on the isekai genre. That is why for today we will be talking about the top 10 old isekai anime, and so before we begin, and of course it comes without saying, beware of the following spoilers. Coming in at number 10 is Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online is undoubtedly and undoubtedly one of the most important staples of the isekai genre to ever exist. Was it the first ever isekai? Nope, not by a long shot. But was it good? Opinion-wise, back then, yes. However, after it became a harem, it lost what value it had, in my eyes at least. And again, that is purely my opinion. You can think whatever you like. Many people could argue that Alicization was a great show actually, and they might be right. Although personally, I didn't watch it. However, when it comes to the original Sword Art Online, it made such an impact. Not for the isekai aspect, however, it was for how accurate and on point it was, creating the game system and molding it into the anime as an inseparable part of it. And a lot of anime took that idea from it and used it, which is why I respect this show as a staple of anime and isekai nowadays. Coming in at number 9 is Problem Children Are Coming From Another World, aren't they? Well, apparently these four main characters got so damn bored of being powerful and overpowered, they decided to go to another world and see how things go there for them. This bunny girl they met was smart enough to let them agree to go to their world, while these four just wanted to give their lives meaning again by any means possible. Upon arriving to that new world, they got all they bargained for: the adventure, the fights, the amazing scenery, and the breathtaking world. They got it all. Speaking of fights, they faced off against some really powerful entities, even fighting gods. And even then, they still ended up on top as the true victors of the battle, and this just shows how damn powerful they are. They can practically rule the world with their abilities. Coming in at number 8 is Children Who Chase Lost Voices. The story is about Asuna, basically, the female lead from every single Ghibli movie ever. A bit of a loner girl who spends her time sitting on rocky outcrops listening to her makeshift crystal radio. But one day, she is attacked by a monster who got lost on his way to a Princess Mononoke audition, but is saved by Shun, who is basically the pretty boy male lead from half of every single Ghibli movie ever. Don't worry about the other half of the pretty boy male lead. His role is taken up by Shun's younger brother. But then, stuff happens that I don't want to spoil, so Asuna has to travel to the magical land of Agartha with her mysterious substitute teacher who is basically the villain from every Ghibli movie ever. Wait, actually he's not. He's more nuanced than that, and was far and away my favorite character of the movie. Animation-wise, the movie is stunning. Okay, this is still Shinkai, and his tendency to focus on clouds remains completely baffling, but the world of Agartha is beautiful. It's essentially the same as Earth, but there's enough touches here and there to make it seem alien. It's far from a perfect movie, though, however, it deserves its place on this list and it's worth the watch. Coming in at number 7 is Now and Then Here and There. Now and Then Here and There is a real wall gazer, the kind of show that you pause to reflect upon, and then you find yourself gazing deeply into the nearest wall. The hero of this story, Shu, is actually not so much a hero as he is just another victim of an ugly world gone wrong, and one who himself is nearly broken a number of times. What makes him stand out is his stubborn refusal to succumb to the hopelessness and terror of it all, even while everyone around him has been beaten down to the point where they commit terrible acts out of overwhelming fear and a desire to survive. It's not an isekai about powers, nor skills, or abilities. It's much more important than that. It's a show about survival, turmoil, loss, sadness, and terror. Coming in at number 6 is Gate. This anime isn't an isekai per se, but it still counts as one, I suppose. A giant gate appears out of nowhere on Earth, and suddenly medieval-like armies and fantasy creatures like dragons rush out of it, wreaking havoc in Japan and killing hundreds. But Japan is not having any of that, however, and sends in the cavalry, the JSDF, and they fight back the invasion and liberate the city. The introduction of the Copters Battalion while they play and listen to Wagner was actually so damn epic and underrated at the same time. I laughed and was intrigued at the choice of the creator simultaneously. Another thing that set this anime on another league from other isekai was the fact that the main character opposed to being a teen boy every freaking time in anime. It's actually a mature 33-year-old man in the army. I mean, okay, he's an otaku, but it still counts as being different. His maturity and age is something we rarely see in anime nowadays, especially isekai anime. Coming in at number 5 is Log Horizon. We all love games and enjoy playing them, right? So we also all know that sometimes when these games are updated, they would face some bugs in the code. However, no one in their right mind expected such a bug would appear. After the recent update, over 30,000 gamers became stuck in the world of Eldertale, the very popular MMORPG they love and adore, with no way to log out or leave the game. Shiro, the main character, is a shrewd gamer, and even though he is somehow timid, he drops his timidness, setting it aside for the greater good, so he could lead the confused masses and bring back order into the world that they are now currently stuck in. You see, the misconception about being a badass is that they always have to be strong and powerful. Shiro is the farthest away from being powerful, but he is still a badass in how he calmed the players and was able to make sense of their situation. He set in motion a lot of policies and helped in calming the situation by controlling it as much as possible with the help of the guildmates. Coming in at number 4 is Drifters. If you haven't ever heard of the Shimazu clan yet in your life, sit back and prepare to get a lesson of history with the help of Oda Nobunaga, Toyohisa Shimazu, and Yoichi Suketaka Nasu. These three, upon their deaths, were pulled into a war they never asked for nor wanted. However, the only thing these three know in life is war and fighting. In this world, humans are to fight against the beasts and the avatars of the second god. This anime is rich with action and battles as well as lots of gore and killing. If you are into merciless torture, killing, heads flying left and right, then this anime is yours, and you should definitely check it out. Coming in at number 3 is No Game No Life. This is one of the few scenarios where the almighty outer-versal Truck-kun wasn't involved in isekaiing someone. This time, the neat shut-in duo Sora and Shiro were isekai'd after winning against an unknown challenger into a world that revolves around board games and actually games in general. These two are now off to hustle and beat the population of this world out of their clothes if needed. Sora and Shiro can't be messed with. Everyone that tries to mess with them will be hustled out of all his belongings with finesse and style. They even beat the mighty Jibril in her own freaking game, and it was supposed to be unbeatable. Fun fact though, Shiro is actually the secret weapon in this case, as she is way better in games than her brother. Join their adventure as two shut-in siblings who did nothing but lock themselves in their rooms and play video games, go on a winning streak against that foreign world's smartest beings. Coming in at number 2 is Konosuba. This is the most hilarious isekai you will ever find out there. The characters and the main character of the show are all just so damn funny, and the premise of the show itself is just as good. I bet that the moment you start watching the show, two things are gonna happen. One, you won't stop watching it, and you are going to binge watch all of it, and even the movies. Second, you will not stop laughing. I bet if you could so prepare yourselves, and if anyone is with you in the room, they will either call you crazy or claim you're high. Worst case scenario, they will send you to the asylum. Kazuma is one of the most iconic comedy characters out there, and this unconventional misfit team won't make things any better, especially Darkness. Do not be fooled by that masochist. I warn you now. It's up to you to heed my warnings or not. And number 1 goes to Re:Zero. What is worse than having a bad day? Being isekai to another world, having a bad day, dying, and being brought back to life to repeat the process of senseless suffering, pain, and death over and over and over again. This anime is messed up on so many levels, however in a good way, if this makes sense, if that makes sense. This series is actually quite the head-scratcher, especially when it comes to Season 2, with it revealing some key information about the main character and why exactly he is being brought back to life every single time he dies. And why is he stuck in a broken record that keeps repeating itself? He will despair, hate himself, suffer, and yet he won't give up. All for the love of Amelia and trying to save her. His life is about to get so messed up and complicated though. This day on, let's just hope his story has a good ending after all these resets. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I had fun making it for you. I would appreciate it if you guys would smash that like button, subscribe, comment, and pressing that bell icon to keep yourself notified of all our latest new videos. Also, if you have any cool ideas for any upcoming videos, don't be shy. Share them in the comments down below. And as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.